Hey guys, welcome back to our channel Stock My Closet. For today's project, I have taken 2 meter cambric cotton fabric. It has this beautiful paisley print all over and half meter plain black fabric. This is the measurement I am using. You can adjust it according to your requirement. Firstly, I'll cut the back bodies, and for that I have cut out the required length, that is 40 inch, including 1 inch for seam allowance from the fabric, and I have folded the fabric by half in width. Now I'll mark the measurements. For shoulder, take half of shoulder width. In my measurement, shoulder width is 13.5 inch, so half of it is 6.75 inch. Neck width is 3 inch. Mark half inch downwards for shoulder slope and join it to the neck width point. From this point, mark half of armhole round, that is 7 inch in my measurement. And just extend this point. From this point, mark 1 inch inwards and join it to the shoulder slope point. From the top, mark a point at 10.5 inch shoulder to burst point, 14 inch shoulder to waist point, and 21 inch shoulder to hip point. For chest, I am adding 2 inch of ease. In my measurement, chest round is 31 inch. 31 plus 2 is 33, and dividing it by 4, I'll get 8.25 inch. For burst, I am adding 3 inch of ease. In my measurement, burst round is 32 inch. 32 plus 3 is 35, and dividing it by 4, I'll get 8.75 inch. For waist, again I'm adding 3 inch of ease. In my measurement, waist round is 28 inch. 28 plus 3 is 31, and dividing it by 4, I'll get 7.75 inch. For hip, I'm adding 4 inch of ease. In my measurement, hip round is 38 inch. 38 plus 4 is 42, and dividing it by 4, I'll get 10.5 inch. To give A-line shape, join waist point with the hip point and extend it till bottom. Measure hip to bottom. This is 19.25 inch. Mark the same point on this side. And join it to the bottom with a slight curve. Adding seam allowance. Give slight curve to this pointed shape. Now I'll draw front and back armhole curve. So this is a marking for back bodies. Now I'll cut it. So I've cut the back bodies. Now I'll cut the front bodies. Now from the armhole side, mark a point at 3.5 inch. Mark the same point in the bottom. Join these points. Now taking this line as center, place the back bodies, and now I'll cut it. So I've cut both front and back bodies. Now I'll cut yoke on the front part. So I've cut both front and back bodies. Now I'll cut yoke on the front side of the bodies. Now this part is for gathers. From this line I'll mark neck width point, that is 3 inch in my measurement. Mark midpoint on the rest of the shoulder. This is around 4 inch, so midpoint will be half of it, that is 2 inch. Now from the top mark a point at 14 inch. Measure this width, it's around 8.5 inch. Mark same point here as well. Join these points. So this will be the yoke. Leave around 0.25 inch for seam allowance and cut out the yoke. So I've cut out the yoke. I'll add gathers on this bodice part, and I'll again cut the yoke on the other fabric including seam allowance. This is cut out yoke. This part is for gathers, so we don't need it for yoke. I'll just separate it. We don't need this gathers part for the yoke, so just leave it out. So this is the yoke part. I have marked tuck on the neck width point on both sides. Neck depth is 7 inch, adding half inch for seam allowance. Mark neck width point 3 inch on both sides. This is rectangle for neckline. You can make any desired neckline shape. Now I'm making asymmetrical yoke. So for that, this is actual shape for my yoke, asymmetrical neckline. I'll recut the yoke on another fabric with seam allowances. I need one piece for this part and one for this one. So this is the leftover piece. I have placed yoke pieces on the fabric. I'll add around 0.25 inch for seam allowance. So I have cut the yoke. I'll add piping on this asymmetrical neckline shape, and for that I have cut out bias tape from the contrast fabric. Place dori on one side of the bias tape, fold it over and make stitch as close as you can to the dori. I'm using zipper foot for this. Now I'll attach piping on the neckline. Mark seam allowance on the right side of the neckline. Place the piping on the marking line like this, and again make a stitch close to the dory. Now fold the other edge and make a stitch. Now turn the piping towards the wrong side and make a stitch on the edge of the bodice. So I have attached piping. Now similarly I'll attach it on the other side. I have attached piping. Join both pieces and pin it up. Now I'll make a stitch to secure it. I have attached piping on the neckline. Now similarly I'll attach piping on all three sides. So I have added piping on the yoke, and with this yoke is ready, now I'll attach it with the bodice. To add gathers, I'll make basting stitch under the yoke area. To make basting stitch, just select the highest stitch length on your sewing machine and make a straight stitch. Pull the bobbin thread and adjust gathers according to the yoke width. Place the yoke on the bodice. Pin it up and make a stitch to secure it. So I've attached yoke with the bodice, and this is how it looks. I'll finish back neckline using bias tape. Join front and back, right sides together, and stitch shoulder slope on both sides. So I've attached shoulder slope on both sides. Now I'll attach the sleeves. I've cut out quarter sleeves. This is just basic sleeve drafting. I have a detailed video on the same. If you want to check it out, I'll share the link in the description box. I'm adding contrast color border on the bottom of the sleeves. Just place it on the sleeve, right sides together, and make a stitch. So I made a stitch. I folded and ironed the seam allowance. Now I'll make another stitch to secure it. Similarly, I'll attach it on the other sleeve. Now I'll attach the sleeves. Place the sleeve on the bodies. Match the center and front and back armhole curves and make a stitch. Similarly, I'll attach other sleeve. To finish the bottom round, fold the seam allowance twice and make a stitch on the inner edge to secure it. Similarly, I'll finish the other side. So I have attached sleeves on both sides. Lastly, I'll stitch the side fitting seam starting from the sleeve round. Similarly, I'll stitch the other side, and with this my tunic style kurti is ready, and this is how it looks. It's a perfect pattern for the summer season and a must try, guys. I'm damn sure you will love this pattern. If you try it, do share it with us on Facebook or Instagram. And I hope you like this video. If you do, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye.